Hello, my name is Abigail Noah. For this final semester project, I've chosen to investigate the work of Lino Bobardi. Her early life began in Italy, where she was born in Rome on December 5th, 1914, and was born the oldest child of Enrico and Giovanni Bo. She possessed an appreciation for art from a young age and knew that she wanted to go to architecture school. In 1939, she graduated from the University of Architecture in Rome with a degree in architecture. Then in 1940, she moves to Milan and begins to work with an architect known as Carlo Pagani as a design journalist. At the same time, she collaborates on a project with Gio Ponti for a magazine called Lo Stile, where she contributes as an illustrator, editor, and writer. In 1943, she then stops work with Gio Ponti and becomes the deputy director of a magazine called Domus, with the help from her architect mentor Carlo Pagani until its suspension in 1945 due to the will of the Republic of Salo. In 1945, she then travels around Italy with Pagani and a photographer named Federico Patolani as a Domus reporter to document and evaluate the situation of the destroyed country. This was during the time of the World War, so there was a lot of destruction. In the same year, Lino Pagani and Zevi established their own weekly magazine, which is pictured underneath it. So then in 1946, Lina marries a famous journalist named Pietro Maria Bardi, and the two of them move permanently to Brazil. So why did they move to Brazil? Pietro was invited to Brazil to help coordinate the Art Museum of Sao Paulo, and then Bobardi was also invited to design the interior and the museum fittings for their first iteration, which opened in 1947. And on the left, you can see the museum. She developed an innovative system for suspending paintings away from the wall and also designed folding stackable chairs made from Brazilian wood. So then Bobardi founds her magazine Habitat in 1950 with her husband and works as the editor until 1953. It was known as one of the most influential architectural magazines in Brazil during its time, and you can see a few of the cover images on the right here. She then becomes a citizen of Brazil in 1951 and starts the country's first industrial design course at the Institute of Contemporary Art. Her first built project was constructed in 1951. It was designed for her and her husband and was actually used as their home for over 40 years. It was known as the Glass House, or otherwise Casa de Vitro. Also in 1951, she designed her most famous piece of furniture known as the Barty's Bowl Chair. And you can see a few images on the bottom right of some of the sketches and then the final chair. It was a chair in the form of an adjustable hemispherical bowl resting in a steel cradle. And a few key points about the glass house. It is considered an icon of modern Brazilian architecture. It was the first built project by Lino Bobardi and the residents of the couple for over 40 years. The site chosen for the construction was Morumbi, a neighborhood in the south zone of Sao Paulo, and the front of the house extended out over the slope of a hill, elevated and supported on delicate-looking stilts. Here's a few images of the exterior on the left and the interior on the right. A characteristic of this house is definitely the glass and the material used. She tended to use a lot of natural material in her architecture. A few spotlight projects. In 1940, we have the restoration of the Solar do forgive me if I mess up some of this pronunciation. The Solar do Unhau. And then 1964, we have the Sham Sham House. In 1977, the Sesc Pompeia. And then in 1984, the Teatro Officina. So what is the legacy that she left? I have a few quotes here from some sources, one of the most revered and influential figures in Brazilian modernism, with a dedication to social design and architecture. And then from a curator of the Square Sao Paulo, Mary Stockler, which is the Square of Sao Paulo is an exhibit of her work that is in her home that people are it's welcome to the public, and people can go in and look at this stuff that she's created during her life. She says, from the modernist project to her embrace of the power of Brazilian popular culture and collaboration with the counterculture, Lena challenged norms and developed ideas that crossed chronological time like arrows and are today an essential perspective of Brazilian identity. So obviously she was a very key figure in Brazil, and her architecture is still significant there. So that is all.